Forged documents, fake signatures, backdated forms, all of it. That was the moment I realized she wasn't just overstepping. She was committing fraud, and she wasn't even being careful anymore. It all happened fast after that. Once I saw how far she was willing to go, I stopped giving her the benefit of the doubt. I stopped hoping she'd come around. She thought she could outpace me by moving fast and talking loud. What she didn't count on was that I'd been watching her the whole time and documenting every step. I didn't need to shout or warn her. I just needed to keep building the case. She thought the race was over, but I was just getting started. The day after the bank called about the forged refinance paperwork, I went straight to their branch and asked to speak with the manager who had flagged it. I brought a copy of my ID and legal documents confirming my right to inquire on behalf of the estate. She already had the file pulled up. Fiona had submitted everything: bank statements, ID, fake signatures, listing herself as the sole heir and executor, despite our co-beneficiary status documented in the original will. My name wasn't on a single page. I handed over the original will, official notarized documents showing we were co-beneficiaries, and a binder of lease records and communication logs. I also brought a printed timeline that showed what had happened from the day Nana passed until now. The manager didn't waste time. She flagged the refinance as potentially fraudulent and sent it to their legal compliance team. The application was frozen the same afternoon. I updated my attorney, and we immediately filed an emergency motion to suspend Fiona's role as executor. The petition listed everything: unauthorized account changes, forged documents, tenant interference, and now the refinance attempt. That filing alone set off the first real wave of consequences. Fiona got wind of it quickly. She started calling around the family, saying I was trying to take over everything for myself. Told them I was bitter, that I was trying to cause trouble because she'd done the hard work while I sat on the sidelines. I didn't respond to any of it directly. Instead, I mailed out copies of Nana's handwritten instructions, the ones she'd written when she first started building the estate. Every note clearly mentioned the two of us, equal, side by side. One of those letters made it to Aunt June, who had always been firmly on Fiona's side. That same night, she called me in tears. She said Fiona had bragged to her about getting ahead of the paperwork and streamlining the process, even though none of it had been legal. June said she felt sick over it. That call didn't fix everything, but it confirmed I wasn't the only one who had seen what was happening. The next step was addressing the tenants. I drafted a formal notice, had it reviewed by the lawyer, and sent it to every residential and commercial unit. It stated that all management decisions had to be approved jointly, and that any lease changes made by only one of us were not valid. That was when things really exploded. Tenants started reaching out in waves. Some said they'd been charged extra fees for things like special renovations or new maintenance plans. A few said they were threatened with eviction if they didn't pay. One restaurant owner in one of the commercial spaces showed me a signed lease with a clause about premium access to the parking lot. There was no such premium. It was the regular lot. Nothing had changed except the rent going up. While following up on these, I kept hearing the name of the company that had been doing the renovations, BR Services. It wasn't on any of the estate vendor records. Turns out, it was owned by Fiona's boyfriend. He'd been running the jobs, some of them poorly done, others never even completed. Walls were half painted. One tenant said a contractor walked out halfway through installing new windows and never came back. The invoices were padded, the receipts vague, and none of them had gone through the estate's accountant. The forensic accountant put together a breakdown. Almost $40,000 in charges had been paid to BR Services, none of them processed properly, none of them with approvals, and all tied back to Fiona directly. We now had enough evidence for seriously